What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you my updated wheel settings as well as controller settings for TDUSC post season 2. Now obviously this update, we got a new steering wheel animation, as you can clearly see right there, 900 degrees, but it doesn't match, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that, and some future improvements like Kilton are going to implement and much more. So first off, let's talk about wheels. So if you're on the wheel, I currently use the Logitech G Pro wheel. It's a direct drive wheel. I have it set to, how many Newton meters do I have? 8. The maximum it goes up to 11. Honestly, I don't really see any reason to run anything more than 8 or 10 Newton meters. But then again, normally you don't really want to be running your wheel at max power all the time. So normally you just step down a bit, and I'm running 8. Now, let's not restart to default. Let's go over to the control section over here, and you guys can see we got my wheel settings. So I'm gonna scroll down a bit. And the first thing you want to note is I have my wheel set to 900 degrees. Now, in TDSC, when you have your wheel set to 900 degrees, depending, it's going to change for all wheel users, depending on what wheel you're actually using. But you might need to change the sensitivity when you run your wheel this high. And I'll explain that in a bit. You have overall vibration, overall force set to 85, self-aligning torque set to 77, tire load is at 83, self-centering is at 14, and wheel recharging force is at 26. Now, I kind of already made a video going in detail about what each one does, but honestly, I think I just actually moved one, but but basically what each one does: overall vibration is obviously the overall vibration, force is how much force you feel altogether on your wheel, self-aligning torque is basically how it counter steers. If you find that your car is not counter steering fast enough, turn it up. If it's going too fast and too powerful, turn it down. Tire load, when you're driving and racing and you feel that resistance in the wheel, if it feels too strong, turn it down. If it feels too soft, turn it up. Self-centering, trust me, you don't want to use this. I don't think it makes sense for anyone to have this up high. I just leave it at 14. No other reasons you should have it higher than 20 though. I mean, you could try and push up to 100 just to see what it changes, but it's like it adds an artificial experience to the wheel, which honestly, I just don't like it. Wheel recentering is just after races, how quickly the wheel sets back. If you're running 20 Newton meters, you should probably turn this down because you don't want your hands to just go rip off your shoulders. But that's basically it. Now, steering is very important. As I said, for me, because I'm running 900 degrees, most of the time you need to change your sensitivity. So I have it set to 1.4. You might need a little bit more. Maybe you might need 2.4. Maybe need less. Maybe need negative, which I don't think. I think it's very rarely. Maybe on console players, I think you have to go negative. But I have mine set to 1.4. What I do want to mention though is that when you change the sensitivity, what's going to happen is you're going to notice your wheel does not sync. And I'll turn my wheel count so you can see. As you can see, my wheel turns faster, and that's because it's more sensitive. You know, it's like a parabola curve. You're gonna notice that curve, so it gets slower as I reach the top of my rotation. Same thing when I turn it back. Now, Kilton is aware of this, and this will be fixed in an upcoming update. I don't know if this is gonna be season 3 or there's gonna be a mid-season patch. I do not know, but rest assured, Kilton is working on it, and it will be fixed for that update, and they'll communicate it when that time comes. Now, that being said, if you have it set to 0, you'll notice that, well, your wheel will be in sync. And by the way, dead zone 0 and saturation 1 is what I use. And I'll set this down to 0. Now, as you can see, my wheel perfectly lines up. But now here's the issue. I'll turn on the car and we'll go for a quick little drive. All right, put this in reverse. The car is coming here. Now, because I'm already kind of used to, and by the way, Kilton, again, I keep seeing it. Let us remove that little handbrake thing when we come to a stop. Anyways, so we are going for our drive. Now, in real life, when you come to turns like this, you shouldn't need to cross your hands over. As you can see, I gotta basically do a full rotation. Now, obviously, when you do really tight corners, so that full rotation makes sense. But you can see, I gotta rotate the wheel a lot more. Like so. We'll turn left here. This is good for cruising. You could probably get away with cruising at this with this level of sensitivity. Make another turn. Like so. I'll do another turn here. But where this sensitivity becomes an issue, yeah, see, in real life I shouldn't need to turn the wheel like that. But where this becomes an issue is when you're racing. I'll show you what I mean. Here we go. I got it now, basically cross over my arms at every turn when I race. And again, this is a problem because what this means is that now you're not very efficient on the wheel because you have to do that crossover. As soon as you have to cross your hands over in a race, you kind of lose that efficiency in your turns and everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's possible, but not very optimal. So I'm gonna pull over here, be quick, and I'm gonna change this back to 1.4. Again, sensitivity. I'm gonna move my camera over as well so you guys can see it. 1.4 and 1.4. And again, if you have any questions about any issues on how to improve your wheel, just comment down below, and I'll try and help you guys the best I can. Now that you have it set to 1.4. I still need the whole rotation to get like through the world. But now I can cross my hands over quite easily through a majority of the turns. And now this is something that I can cruise in and something that I can also race in. Oh, he's very kind. Oh, we just crashed our car. Not to worry. So now you can race, go on races, have your fun, and just saves the fact of me having to go into settings all the time. The only issue, like I said, that I have with this is that, well, they need to improve the how this works, because obviously what happens is that when you guys see me driving, you'll see the wheel do like a lot like this, but I'm not really doing that. My hands are barely crossing over. So again, Kilton aware, and that's something that they're going to work on fixing in the future. Hopefully we see it soon. And by the way, I really hope they fix clutch as well, and auto clutch and all that. It would be very nice to see stalling our car, just to add to this whole immersion of this game, you know. And so of course Evil's gonna have an open world racer. I think I was just watching the live stream. They've also confirmed fuel. Obviously, you know, you're not driving around no beautiful island, and two games can coexist in my opinion. I'm pretty sure they can. But nonetheless, Kilton, you gotta give us that immersion as well, man. Anyways, so that's the wheel for this, guys. If you have any questions about it, let me know in the comment section below. The animation in general, though, I must admit, is quite nice. The handover on the middle portion, I like it. It's good, even from the outside. In fact, even the seatbelt moves. There's a car where you can see the seatbelt like stretch and everything. Anyways, that's that. Now let's take a look at controller users, because that is where it changes a bit. So I got my controller here. It's an Icon controller. I think it's the Xbox version. Now, I'm a lot better at this game on wheel than I am on controller. So here we go. Let's go for a drive. One thing that needs to be fixed, and it's not really, it's a bug. It's an animation bug, I'd say. And I think it's been there since launch. But I'll give you guys an example. On wheel, let me switch. Hold on. As you can see, the car reacts literally to how the wheel turns immediately. Now I'll stop and I'll go on controller. You see how the car turns before the wheel turns? Oh, I gotta change the camera back up so you can see what I'm talking about. Basically, the animation is behind on controller. And it looks, because of that, it kind of looks weird if you're on controller, because you'll be like, yo, wait a second, yo, it's center pivot or something, when not really. It's just the animation is behind. I think I can go up to 30. There we go. This is probably the best way to show it. So now I've made Kilton aware of this bug as well. I'm only gonna see what's going to get fixed at around the same time, but that's a pretty big issue. Although it's only animation, so the actual physics is not affected. It's just the animation is behind what you're supposed to see. I think it's just a filtering because it just doesn't let you snap back so quickly. It's just a filtering. But anyways, now on controller, they've changed it a bit. Now you guys can see here we got max wheel angle. I'm gonna turn off my wheel camera here for you guys. I run 540 on controller. You can smack this all the way up to 1080 and you'll get the full 1080 animation. But if you do run a higher animation, you're probably going to need a higher sensitivity. Now on controller, I kind of run a dead zone because I feel like I need one on controller. I run 0.02, which I'll move over for you guys. 0.02 over there. Then also I have -1 as my sensitivity. That is for both steer left and steer right. I kind of find it a bit too twitchy at a higher setting, but that's all I really have to work on. And if we go to the inside, the only issue is animation is a bit jarring. Then again, you're on controller. The faster you go, you'll see less of an animation and look smoother. I think I just need to figure out a way to imply that same thing. But 540 degrees is just this, which I think is more than enough on controller, because if you have it set to 900 with a high sensitivity, it's just gonna look jarring and unrealistic, to be fair with you. Let me turn off my signal there. Another thing is you can kind of sense that the car, because the animation's behind, sometimes when you turn and you go straight, it looks like your wheels are turned, but that's not what the information that you're supposed to be getting. So the animation bug, I can't find a way to fix it. I've tried very hard. So if I go like this, again, the wheel should have been turned to the right for stuff like that. You don't really get a sense of what the car is doing when it bugs out like that. But again, hopefully that's something that they can work on and fix and improve. Like there, the car's already going straight, but the animation's behind. Again, no way to fix this. You could probably lessen it if you turn up your sensitivity on controller to a lot higher. But again, I think that's just the animation just lagging behind, guys. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Other than controller, if you find that, you know, your car is a bit too twitchy, just turn down the sensitivity. I think control is a lot more self-explanatory than anything else. But I welcome the new animation. Still needs a couple of improvements for people on wheel and stuff, but hopefully that's something that Kilton can continue to work on and we continue to see the improvement of the game, you know? Not really much else can be said. I want this game to do well. It's got a long way to go, but I'm hopeful. Anyways, guys, I'm Lock7, and I'll see you guys in another video. I'm out, guys. Peace.